And hello, and welcome to the Next.io Crypto Series in cooperation with our great friends over at SOFTSWISS. And what a great first guest we have here today, of course, with the CEO and founder of SOFTSWISS, Ivan Montik. How are you doing, Ivan?
Hi, Pierre. I'm doing well, almost well. You know, I broke my foot. That's why I speak Six Sigma. But so far, so good. So it's a little bit of recovery and I will be fine. Don't worry.
Absolutely.
How
But
about you?
more time. I'm doing fantastic, Ivan. It's great to have you back here. And maybe it's a blessing and a curse with the foot, because at least you have a good excuse to sit by the computer and work even more than usual, I guess.
Yeah. But you feel the difference once you break something. How easy it's to be just without any disease or something like that, and you can do
Yeah.
everything. But with something like that, you should literally sit a lot and work a lot as well.
Yeah, good. Awesome, Ivan. So, just to set the tone today, obviously in this series of podcasts that we are producing, we are talking about the kind of history of crypto, the place of crypto casinos in the industry and the future of crypto casinos, and kind of what you need to think about if you are considering to start the crypto casino operations. But to set the tone here of how experienced Ivan is in this field, everyone knows the founder of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, and in a previous podcast, me and Ivan talked about the story when Vitalik, as a young journalist, interviewed Ivan Montik about crypto. So that's how long you have been in this field, of course, Ivan. And I want to start by asking here, just as a starting point, like when did you first consider to start kind of a crypto casino product, and like when did crypto come to the iGaming industry overall? If you take us from the beginning.
It's a quite interesting time. It was quite interesting time. I was digging into the crypto and blockchain since 2010, 2011, something like that. So I got this, let's say, information about something is going on in the internet called blockchain and called Bitcoin from my very good friend, and he's like really big geek what concerns about mathematics and programming, and he was telling me about Bitcoin and the idea of it, like early 11, maybe end of 2010. At that time, like Bitcoin literally cost nothing, like several cents maybe. It was like just maybe like a joke to trade Bitcoin. And I was starting to consider this tool from the economical point of view for the time. And I didn't first thought about this for the future. So like at least for 5 years. So it was like interesting mathematical algorithm idea. It was running. But from the economical point of view at that time, it was not really so interesting for me, for example. But in 1 year, we saw like 2012, basically first ever online service that was launched and using crypto and using basically Bitcoin at that time only, was the first casino game. It was Satoshi Dice. And 2012, 2013, this project was generating more than 50% of all blockchain volumes, all like transactions in the volume in the blockchain than anybody else. Like even more than people were sending bitcoins to themselves, like peer to peer. So only one service, and this service was basically a casino game. It still exists. It still exists on the market, but it's not that popular, let's say, and that fancy, let's say, like this from the blockchain or the Bitcoin point of view anymore, like it was at that time. And we started developing of the SOFTSWISS as a gambling software solution company in September 2012. So SOFTSWISS exists since 2009, but it was a software development company. And then we decided to go into our own products, and we started to develop this platform. And I was thinking that we should do something unique, something completely different from the market, what everybody are doing. And nobody at the market were like considering even crypto to be implemented in the classical, let's say, online slots, table games, online casinos. So basically, it was a casino Satoshi Dice, very popular, and with very attractive house age of 1.8%, and very attractive also random number generator technology based on blockchain at that time. So basically, I would say it was also like a first smart contract service based on Bitcoin blockchain, like back in the days, more than 10 years ago. What is now
Amazing.
like kind of like trend and a little bit of not anymore hype, but still like smart contracts are the base for blockchains. It was done by the casino operator back in the days, and the guy behind was Eric Voorhees, who I believe is very talented. I know him personally. It was a great time to meet him in London, also at first London ICE seminar. And yeah, I mean, it was the push, the kick, why we decided to enter the Bitcoin or crypto market at the time as a business.
And so in 2012, Bitcoin kind of finished the year around $10. Obviously, did not have the hype and the excitement from the masses as it has today.
Not at all. Not at all.
When you walked around at the show floor of ICE trying to sell your services, what was the response at the beginning, like the first couple of years from operators and so on?
Yeah, as development, we started the development in 2012, but the solution came to the market like with the crypto. Like early May 2013, and we put it on our website, like a landing page with like a solution, online casino solution with Bitcoin, crypto, blah blah blah, and we got quite fast rankings in Google on it, on keywords like crypto casino, something like that, and we've got immediately requests worldwide from different point of our world, like from Europe, from Nordic countries, from Finland, from Colombia, from Latin America, different countries, from Asian countries. It was like really like people were waiting, like who will be the first to offer this service, and yeah, it was a catch. Yeah.
And so, at what point did you realize that this is going to be huge? Did you have an idea when you started to develop this that this is definitely the future, or was it more like you took a gamble and let's see how it pans out?
Yeah,
and was there an inflection point somewhere?
Yeah, it was more about like to decide how and what to do to be different from all other providers. So because I mean, we were quite young, we didn't have any real experience in the gambling industry before. Just the developers and development of software, and we were thinking to do something, to implement something, and to be the first on the market with some feature, like this. And the Bitcoin was the first feature for us, but it was like everything was like a virgin, You couldn't find any payment solution to accept crypto. You should develop it by your own. You couldn't talk to anybody, like to consult and to ask questions. So you do it by your own. You understand that crypto was, and still it is, quite liquid in terms of stealing. Once it's gone, it's gone. So we had to realize how to protect the players' money, our money, and how to do this secure. So it was also another task. Yeah, it was quite interesting actually, and but we did a great job, and we were really believers that the crypto gambling industry will be developed and will be staying for a long time here as a crypto in general, like a blockchain technology and crypto in general. And yeah, I mean, I didn't plan it to be that it will be so huge as it is right now, but I was really believing in this industry, in the technology, for sure.
Interesting. And so if you go back to the very first original crypto casinos, how did they look? How did they perform? You mentioned some of the challenges here. For example, did they kind of look and feel like a normal online casino, or what were the first ones? The very first ones.
Yeah, if we're talking about this first Satoshi Dice, for example, crypto casino, I could say, or crypto game, dice game, right? It was just a one page with some simple descriptions and some leaderboard, and quite that's it. basically our websites were more or less they were looking more or less like the websites today. Obviously there were not so much features, so much like maybe possibilities of the bonuses and retention, but from the feel and look, it was the same. And this was the idea, like to bring like casinos, online casinos. Like at that time, there was a lot of casinos on the market. There were a lot of casinos on the market, but there were nobody who were accepting crypto, Bitcoin or Litecoin at that time. So we were the first. And the first client, actually, I was searching, and the first client was the guy from Finland. And it's still actually live, the casino. It's called Bitcoin Penguin.
Bitcoin Penguin.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, the guy behind, he understood crypto very well. He was for sure from this industry as well, and he understood the idea of casino games. And yeah, I mean, he was actually, and he's quite successful. He's not huge, but you can imagine, like, he's 10 years already on the market, and he's still there, and he's making cash flow, revenue, and everything is fine. So yeah, this was the first casino, and his face and look, it's not far away right now today, if you will see it, from what it was 10 years ago, actually.
We gotta check it out, Bitcoin Penguin.
The simplicity works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but then we've got several also other casinos, but obviously you mentioned Vitaly, and why Vitaly took the interview with me, because it was another project, Bitcoin TM. And the project was concentrated on Asian market and Chinese market at that time. And the guy behind, he was always telling me, like, Ivan, world is just to keep the trousers, you know, and to make money is only Asia.
I like it. Many interesting figures in this.
It was easy. It was possible with crypto. And even if we are talking about legal side of the question, at that time, crypto was basically nothing. Like, it was not described, it was not defined, it was
there's no definitions at all.
Published. It was nothing. Basically, it was a really virtual good or virtual asset that was nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. In the middle of things at that time. So you know, if we go again, we stay during that time as well, when it's like, you know, everyone's trying to figure out the space. And I remember, you know, I joined kind of like that world, like maybe 6 months before the crash of Mt. Gox. I remember at that time, it was obviously had huge ramifications for the world of Bitcoin when Mt. Gox crashed, which was this massive platform where like most of the trading of Bitcoin, like a majority of the trading within the Bitcoin network happened within Mt. Gox, and then it was allegedly hacked then at some point, but some allegations that it was an inside job and so on. But I want to ask you, you know, how, so obviously we've seen the kind of crypto winters and crypto summers coming from time to time. How has the crypto casinos performed during the kind of crypto winters and crypto summers, and when crypto crashes, are they still able to perform well? You know, obviously we saw the peaks here in 2021 in the NFT and metaverse craze, and you know, after that the volumes have kind of come down a bit. What's the performance between crypto winter and summer?
I mean, if you're talking about the crypto gambling industry, so
crypto gambling.
The funny story is like that. So while the Bitcoin is going bullish very fast, people are playing less, actually. So in my opinion, they try to, you know, to save. They try to see when will be the point when they will be stopped, and the price will be on maximum or something like that. And when it's going down, and when it's the crypto winter, actually, people are playing more, because the valuation and fluctuation of the price is not so high, and you don't expect actually it will be higher, and you play. I mean, and it's really a trend. And even if you see all these winters, like initially Mt. Gox, and after the new hype, and then again the winter, etc. So you always see the high, like the growth of the player activity when it's going down, when it's going to the winter. So it's like crossing lines, you know. And for the casino industry, it's actually more or less irrelevant if the Bitcoin price is 1 million or $1, actually, because people are playing anymore because they used to play with it with this tool. I mean, it's convenient to play with crypto. It's fast and it fast payouts, and it's a great tool for casino. And initially, I was thinking that basically, and there are some rumors about this around this as well, that Satoshi was implementing his idea because he wanted to make some ideal casino coin, but for online. some legend like that as well. Yeah.
Maybe Satoshi is Pontus Lindvall. Who knows?
No.
That would be a nice time.
Allegation between at that time Calvin Ayre was sponsoring guys.
Right.
So, yeah, but you never know. I don't think so, to be honest. I think it's a coincidence. But he shoot a lot of rabbits with one shot. Not 2 rabbits, but maybe 100. He's the Satoshi guy.
Well, absolute legend. What about scams, Ivan? So obviously, scams is a kind of central, function of crypto and blockchain tech in general. The fact that once the money is withdrawn, you can't really return it, and that kind of leaves a lot of organizations vulnerable for scams within this world. How have they developed throughout the years, Ivan? Were scams more common in the beginning of kind of the life of Bitcoin, or we are seeing much more sophisticated scams now, and relating to online gambling casinos, for example? We've seen some recently. Stake was the subject of a hack recently, and so on. Is it something difficult for newcomers to the industry to avoid becoming scammed?
Well, it is about obviously the security and about the provider. And I can't say that we are so great that we didn't have any scam attacks, etc., or even losses during all this journey until today. But I would say that the attacks that were, let's say, 10 years ago or 8 years ago, and now they're different. The sophistication of how the hackers are planning these attacks, it's completely different. If yesterday, let's say, or 10 years ago, there were some private hackers, let's say, like this, and they were searching for, I don't know, for some easy cake attack and hack and some bitcoins. Well, today these are the organizations, and if you're talking about the hack of stake.com, and previously another business, CoinSpade, was also under attack and was also hacked as well. And it was done by Lazarus Group, and this is basically a special force of North Korean government, basically, and security structures, And now, so basically, if before you were competing in this field against one or two hackers, now you compete against state, basically. And the way how they do these attacks, it's quite sophisticated. They plan it many months before. They try to do a lot of social engineering and quite sophisticated social engineering stuff. And it's not anymore actually about security in terms of technological security, but of course it should be secured and completely closed. But it's more about this old style measures like social engineering, Kevin Mitnick, very famous hacker. He was for some years in American 90s in the jail because of the hacking of banks, I believe, at that time. And he was telling that there is nothing about super sophisticated hacks in technology. It's about social security. It's about human mistakes and human, behavior. And unfortunately, now it's became a new era, and it's quite hard to protect. But the industry is learning, we're learning, and obviously, as more years of experience you have, as more knowledge you collected, and you can be protected more from this kind of attacks. But still, you never know. It's like it's never end the story. You will be always in the same competition with these guys as well. Always.
Right. And so essentially, it's not only about how robust your technology is. Like these days, the hackers will essentially contact Ivan Montik under a specific name of a colleague or something like this, and basically pretend that they are your colleague or someone else, and ask for whatever sensitive information or access that they need. And we are human beings, so generally we are like stressed and we have a million things to do. So we need to be really careful in essentially scrutinizing these requests that we get.
I believe they do it very, very clever and smart. And actually, talking about stake hack, it happened like 3 weeks after the hack of CoinSpade, and CoinSpade was publishing, and it's still there, obviously, on their site, how the hack was done, completely step by step. And after we talked to guys from Stake, and they said like, "Wow, if we would read this, we would avoid our hack."
Yeah, so exactly.
If you are in the business, just read these cases, learn these cases, and make measures on your side to protect yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's very interesting. And Ivan, moving over to the regulatory landscape, so again, crypto and regulation has always been a little bit at heads with each other, and regulator trying to figure out the crypto landscape and so on. So until date, no locally regulated markets have adopted kind of the use of crypto for its operators. What do you think this is going to lead to in the future, Ivan? Do you think we'll see like locally regulated markets allowing the use of crypto as payment systems?
Well, Pierre, I disagree a little bit with you, because there are some countries that adopted crypto officially, and actually
there we go. You know better than me.
But one of the first one was UK. It was, I believe, 2015 when the UK GC implemented the regulation for Great Britain in terms of online gambling, and I believe late 2015 they also brought some rules in terms of Bitcoin and crypto deposits. And we were discussing this again at ICE. It was already not a seminar, it was like a conference about the crypto in gambling. And I was also speaking in panel, and there were also some representative of regulators from UKGC, from other countries. And the way how they did it at that time, and I didn't check, but I'm sure it's still the same, or maybe they already switched it off, I don't know. But the way they did it, it's so, I don't want to say bad words, but it's so not nice that nobody who would have crypto would deposit by this means and by this rules in casino. But there is also a good example on the market. There is Estonia. Estonia brought as one of the first country the crypto regulation in general, like a financial institution regulation, and they implemented it, and they allowed it also for the gambling industry for the local market as well. And the Estonian license actually allowed to completely accept crypto, operate in crypto. And actually, in my opinion, this is the best example how you could implement right now in our industry the crypto gambling, let's say like this, yeah. But it's still about more crypto deposits and crypto withdrawals. I would go a little bit further. I was speaking about this idea many times before. I would, from the state point of view, bring some state crypto coin with some wallet and some solution that would be only used for gambling industry, and I would cut off completely all the fiat money to be used for that. But I would rather make it easier for the people like who gamble. You have like an application, you can always buy this coin. This coin is like, let's say it's flat, like USDT, for example, always like 1-to-1 to euro. And you can use only this coin for the gameplay, and this would be making like the life easier for the operators, the life easier for the gamblers as well. The transparency and responsible gambling would go on the different higher level. The transparency for the taxation office or ministry would be also different. They would see everything in the blockchain. So from my perspective, it's still the way, to go. We don't see actually crypto in many countries, even in Europe, with developed countries yet, even in the non-gambling industry, but just like normal, like e-shops, e-commerce, whatever, and services. But there is a hope that it will come soon, because there is a MiCA regulation in the European Union that is coming into power 2025, and it's quite, in my opinion, also quite good regulation for the industry. And I hope it will be also boosting the crypto gambling industry as well, regulated crypto gambling, obviously, and helping it to develop and to grow, and to take the right place on this planet, on this market.
Brilliant. So positive movement on this front. And the final question for you, Ivan, today is, if you look forward now, let's say 3 years, how do you think the space will evolve? You talked about the EU regulation here, of course, coming into effect. But in general, is there any other particular trends do you see in the crypto gambling space that we should pay attention to at the moment?
So I see the trend also that the industry is using not only the crypto itself, but the blockchain technology like smart contracts and NFTs to bring some new technologies, new features in terms of retention. So basically, using NFT, you can attract players more. You can, while playing, giving them some incentives that are like represented in NFTs, in smart contracts that can be used also either for the gambling, for getting more different bonuses, different incentive, or even outside the platforms, to get some journeys, some nice travels, some nice awards, gifts, etc., and so on and so on. There is a company called True Future. The great guys, they develop an engine that could be implemented in any basically casino and app operator. Also, like we implemented it in our game aggregator, and it could be like additional tool for operators, to boost and the retention and to use the different kind of basically retention tools for the players. And this kind of a new era, and I think this new technology, these new ideas, they will come and they will be also developed and developing. So because the audience, the players are getting younger, and we got new players, let's say, that turn into 18, 21st years old, and so on, and they used to use this technology as well, like much easier. They use it much easier. They accept it much easier than the players like 50 years old plus, let's say like this. And I'm sure that this trend will developing, and I'm sure that it will be a new layer of technology features that operators will use also in sports betting, casino, lottery, whatever.
Ivan, it's always a pleasure to speak to you and to have you on the show here. Again, thank you so much for donating your time here today, and I wish you all the best of luck, and hopefully we can have you back here again soon.
Thank you, Pierre. Very, very nice to be on your stage, let's say like this, online stage, but still.
Yeah.
And I hope, it will help, our conversation will help operators and industry players to get something, and to learn something.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ivan.